Well, hey, neighbor, it's me, Angie. Come on over. We are outside today. Don't forget, it looks like it may rain again today. We had rain all day yesterday. It was a beautiful thing. We had not had rain in, I know, the end of July, significant amount. And I just sat at my front door and just watched it rain. But anyway, don't forget your chair. We're under my carport today. It's time for our neighborhood chat. So just get your drink, your snack. Oh, you may want to wear a coat or a light jacket or a long sleeve. It's not really that cold, it's just breezy. But first of all, before we start this chat, I want you to know I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. You all make me smile on a daily basis. You make me laugh in some cases. You bring so much joy to my life, you can't even imagine. But today, our neighborhood chat is about wasting time. You know, I look back on my life and I think about how much time I've wasted over the years, and I wish I could have bottled it up. Because though I thought it was going to go by slowly, it's went by really, really quick. I mean, I'm 56 years old. It seems like just yesterday I was in my 30s. So tomorrow I'm going to be 70 and it's going to feel like I'm in my 50s. But why do we waste time on things that doesn't even really matter? I mean, at the time, it seems like it's a big, huge ordeal and it matters. But as you grow older, you realize that things you used to worry and fret and have sleepless nights over, they're not that important anymore. That is if you're growing. You know, if you're maturing and you have any kind of sense of wanting to mature and grow, and especially if your spiritual part of your being wants to mature, you definitely have to move on. But if not, that means you're stuck still back there in those times of you're just wasting it. I don't want to get to the end of my life and think that I just wasted the gift that I was given, you know, the gift of life. I don't want to get there and think, oh, I've wasted ever how many years it is before I go on to wherever I'm going, which I believe I'm going to a beautiful place where my loved ones are there. That's my belief. And I respect your belief. But, you know, I can speak on YouTube issues because I mostly stay on YouTube. And I observe and I look and I watch. And I watch people and I observe people. And I do it with no judgment. I can honestly say that. Because to me, it's all a learning process of how someone's going to react to a certain situation or a certain event that happens in their life. You'll know the maturity of someone when that happens. There's no judgment there because every one of us none of us are on the same maturity level as the next person. We only have been growing as we have chosen to grow, you know, and we can stunt our growth. We can stop growing and just stay in one spot for years, and that's our own fault. Maybe you've had to repeat the same class over and over again. I know I had to repeat some classes in my journey of life, learning lessons. Now, when I went to school, I never repeated a grade, but it looks like in life lessons, I had to repeat a few grades a couple of times. Learning about being able to trust people, being able to love people, being able to accept people for who they are and what they are. You know, I think I had to take those courses over a couple of times. But that's okay because I finally got it. I finally was able to move on to the next chapter of my life. And I'm loving this chapter. Oh, this chapter is awesome. Not that I've arrived and I know everything, but oh, just the peace that I have. It's just unexplainable. The joy, the blessings that God has given me is so undeserved yet very welcomed. Oh, I welcome them. My family. Oh, and my granddaughter. And now I'm having a grandson. My husband, he and I have grown together over the years. It took him a little while to catch up, but he's slowly getting there. Shh, don't tell him I said that. But we choose to grow and we choose to mature as we want to. And we waste a lot of time doing it on things that, like I said, don't even matter. Especially when it comes to he said, she said. You know, I don't like playing that game. I don't like he said, she said. You know, someone can come to you and say, do you know what this person was saying about you? And then you're going to spend 2 or 3 days, a week, months. Sometimes you never let it go. When you should just go confront that person and say, wait a minute, I think we have something that we need to talk about, because if you are sharing things with other people about me, what is it? But in my case, with things like that, I'm so far along in my life that if someone comes to me and tells me that someone was talking about me, I don't take offense to this, but I would probably laugh and say, bless their heart, they don't have anything better to talk about. You know, I have someone on YouTube say that I was corny. I thought that was so funny. Said my line of, hey, it's me, Angie, come on in, was corny. Yet this person's YouTube channel is going down because this person only talks about themselves when they get on their live chat and how bad they have it and how much money they don't have and how sad their life is. And, you know, and I'm thinking, why would you even have the audacity to judge someone else when obviously your broom's missing? You're not sweeping up behind your own door. And honestly, that's what I try to do before I speak of anybody else. And normally I will go to that person and say, look, here's the thing. I think that maybe you said something I've misunderstood what you said, or maybe you didn't mean it in the way you said it. I'm going to tell you, I've come to the point in my life, I'm not going to waste time worrying about what people think about me, because I really, and I don't mean this in an ugly way, I just don't care. Not in the way of I don't care as being snooty and arrogant and above them, but I'm not going to worry about it. You make your assessment and your judgment on me, that's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm good. I know me. There are going to be people that like me. There's going to be people that don't like me. Same with you. I'm not going to chase the people that do not like me. I'm not going to chase them down and ask them, why don't you like me? What is it about me you don't like? That's the furthest thing from my mind. That's time in my life that I will never, ever be able to get back. Minutes, hours, days. No. You know, I think sometimes we don't think about how final death is. You know, it's so final. I mean, once you're gone, you're gone. You can never, ever get back a chance to make things right or enjoy your life more. You know, a lot of people would rather stay in a state of sadness and loneliness and bitterness than to get out and try to have fun and enjoy their life. Every morning I wake up, I try to reach for something that I know that I'm going to enjoy. Now, I don't get away from my home very much, so I have to be really, really looking and searching because I see the same surroundings all the time. But you know what the funny thing is? I can always find something. I can always find something that uplifts me and brings me joy. I look forward to things like next week my grandbaby is supposed to come visit. We're going on a trip to the pumpkin patch. She always brings joy to my life. Just the fact that I may see my daughter this week and see how Lincoln is growing, how she's been. Looking forward to him coming into the world and me loving on him. You know, I'm looking forward to things. You got to have something to look forward to. Create things to look forward to. You know, when you get up, which I'm not able to do this, and get in your automobile and be able to drive somewhere to shop, or instead of dreading it, look at it as an opportunity to speak to someone, to smile at someone, to try to make someone's day better than what it has been. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what a smile or a hello, how are you would do to someone. You don't know. We talked about this on my live chat. I think it was on my live chat about how can a person wake up in a bad mood? Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it over and over again. Why do people want to stay up all night trying to figure out how to get back at someone or harm someone or do evil towards someone? Because they think that person's done evil to them, which that person may have done evil to them. It only takes away from you when you sit up and want to literally lash back at somebody. Now, I know there's circumstances that are brought on into people's lives that they could actually justify why they would want to get back at somebody. Maybe someone's taken the life of their loved one. Maybe someone has treated their child or their grandchild in a way that humiliated them, and you just think, okay, I'm going to humiliate you, you know? That takes so much energy to retaliate. Now, don't get me wrong, there's times that we have to retaliate. There's times that we have to stand our ground and speak up for ourselves and take up for ourselves and say, you're not doing that anymore. But once that happens, we have to release it and let it go. Hanging on to it for days, weeks, months, years, it only destroys us from the inside out. And that person still has control over us if we're allowing that to happen. Don't waste time. Find something productive to do. Oh my goodness. And gossip is not one of them. I don't find anybody that important for me to gossip about all the time. I not that I'm putting anybody down, but their life is their life. My life is my life. I want to focus on what I need to make better in my life rather than to speak on what's going on in someone else's life. Because as long as I'm talking about someone else, that means I'm taking away from myself and my family. I don't need to know who they're doing things with or how they make their money, or I don't need to know all that. I just need to know that my responsibility is to love them. And you can love people from a distance. Now, I know anger is real. It's an emotion. We were given that. So anger's not the problem, because anger can be used when it's supposed to be used in the proper way. But getting angry when it's not necessary, or being mean to someone when it only makes you feel like you are better than someone, or it makes you feel empowered, is wrong. You know, you should use anger at the right times. And that way you don't waste time. You don't waste time on people that don't even matter. Are they paying your bills? Are they, is there some kind of emotional attachment that you have toward the person that you just can't let it go? Now, I've been hurt before, and I know how that feels. And I know that it's hard to let go of hurt. But sometimes letting go of it and not saying anything about it, say your piece, say what you want to say, and then move on. Don't keep reliving it. You know, reliving things is wasting time. Time that you could be productive, that you could be helping someone else, that you could be helping yourself, that you could be prospering in other ways. Live your life as if it was the last day, the last few hours you had, because you don't know, it may be. Just because you don't feel ill doesn't mean that you're going to be here tomorrow. Just because you hadn't been diagnosed with something doesn't mean that you're going to live for another 10 years. I mean, people drive to work every day. Things can happen. People get on a plane every minute of every day. Things can happen. So why are we wasting time? Don't waste time. Because that's something we can never, ever, ever get back. You know, smile more, laugh more, enjoy people more, love people more, get to know people. And if you don't want to be around them, walk away. There's no law that says you have to be around people once you start being around them. Step out of that box and start living in a joyful, meaningful way instead of sitting inside the box looking out the window and judging everything that goes by. Don't do that. Think about it. Have you really lived? Have you really looked at the world in a way of excitement and adventure? You know, I never did have a real good imagination when I was growing up, and then I would see people that had this broad imagination. But I never did. I never really had a big imagination. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten better. And as I've gotten closer to the end of my life, things have become more clear of what's important and what's not. So try to figure out what's important. Stay on that course. And what's not important, take that broom and sweep it right out the door. And if it means letting people go that you have been friends with for years, say goodbye. You know, I love you. Just tell them I love you, but I got to move on with my life. I got to travel. I'm on a journey. Don't waste time, neighbor. We don't have much of it. And with that being said, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, share, subscribe. Oh yeah, and don't forget to comment. You know I love your comments. Bye, neighbor.